Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? So I was talking to a community member the other night through email, and she was talking about, EMP and, talking about generators and, what are we going to do? We run out of gas and you can't get gas to run the generators and this, that, and the other. Well, this video is for you. And for everybody else who has that same question. What are you gonna do when we run out of stored fuel during an SHTF? The horde is coming. Oh my gosh, can't make my coffee. Listen, I got the answer. If you're serious about being of the prepared mind, you know that fuel, if it's gas or diesel, whatever, is an incredibly valuable asset. In case of an emergency, fuel powers our generators, our cars. So knowing how to store fuel is so very important. But the question is, what happens if we run out of stored fuel? Okay, and I'm not just talking about having a few cans sitting in the garage with the fuel additive saying, okay, now I'm good for like a year. No. Okay. Many people, just hang on, backtrack. I'm getting ahead of myself, mom brain. Aside from a societal collapse that would inevitably follow, all the stored fuel completely gone, how would you power your engines and your generators? Just those two things, your car engines and your generators. How would you get those going with no gas? Think about it. Okay, many people want to know how to store fuel for this exact purpose, but is that really possible? And if so, how long will the fuel last? Well, let's find the answer. So, bad news first. Got to give the bad news and then we'll get to the good news. Bad news first. Neither gas nor diesel lasts very long. Both of these fuels will go bad after about, say, 6 months in a regular plastic gas container. Okay, now if you store your fuel at a temperature above 70 degrees, it goes bad even quicker. So just think about your hot ass garage in the middle of August, and you won't even go out there to do your laundry. Sounds like me on a daily basis, but I'm just saying, your gas is garbage. Okay, so there are three major reasons for this. First, the fuel breaks down over time because of oxidation. This is something that you cannot avoid, but you can slow it down by treating your fuel with antioxidants. So like the fuel stabilizer, stuff like that, okay? Then we have moisture. Moisture is a huge enemy of fuel, as both with gas and diesel break down if they be coming into contact with water. You can expect moisture as a result of condensation. Finally, that very same moisture creates a perfect environment for the development of bacteria. So you'll have to treat your fuel with biocides if you want it to last longer. So, on top of all of that, you have to keep it at a low temperature, like 20 degrees Fahrenheit. It doesn't snow 24/7, 365, but I'll go on. Also, in a metal stainless container. Who's got those? Not I, said the duck. So if you do all of that, antioxidant treatment, biocides, low temperature storage, your fuel won't last more than 3 years. So gas usually lasts longer than diesel anyways, and with diesel usually naturally deteriorating after about 18 months anyway. The only way to exceed those periods is by buying industrial grade storage equipment, and however, it costs a fortune. All right, so unless you're Texaco, you can't, you're the heiress to Texaco or Circle K or whatever, you can't afford it, and it's difficult to maintain anyways. So since this is the fight that we lose before it even starts, what are the alternatives for when you run out of stored fuel? Have you ever heard of biogas? Biogas is a great alternative to diesel and gas. Now, before I go any further, know that biodiesel is very difficult to produce. It's made from organic waste, animal manure, human waste, and crops. You need a lot, and I mean a lot of ingredients to make biogas. It would take weeks, possibly months, depending on the size of your group and how much cattle you have, to produce enough biogas to fill up a single pickup truck, and we all know those things are thirsty, okay? However, you could put biogas in like a motorcycle or a generator. So, other than the fact that it's difficult to produce, one problem I have with biogas is how dangerous it is to produce. A lot of things can go wrong if you do not know what you are doing. And I mean, the risk does not pay off unless you really use the biogas, okay? So if you are an engineer who has a lot of animal manure and you want to power your house with a generator, awesome sauce. If not, then this alternative energy is not going to be for you. Solar, on the other hand, that's for me. It's the perfect alternative, although I must admit it has two big catches that I'm not really crazy about, but I'll go on. Solar panels don't charge their generators quickly. In fact, solar panels are only about 22 to 28% effective depending on the manufacturer. So you're actually getting less than a third of the sun's energy. The second catch, solar generators can rarely power entire homes. So, I mean, sure, there are some generators that power entire homes, but only for like a limited period of time. You would need about 15 400-watt panels collecting energy in absolutely ideal conditions to power an average American home solely on solar energy. And I mean, not a cloud in the sky, not even a raindrop, not even, what's the word I'm looking for? Not even mist, nothing. You know, I mean, nothing. All day, every day, perfection. Let's say you have an electric car. I know. That you bought to avoid the fuel crisis, which is also not an ideal situation, because those batteries are expensive and they expire, but it's certainly more sustainable than the traditional gas-powered vehicle for this scenario. So just listen. Chances are you will not be able to get enough electricity turned into solar to power all of that. If you have enough panels, you live in the sunniest part of the world, count yourself lucky, because most people are not that lucky. So what you can do is install a few solar panels and use them to power the essentials. And no, I'm not talking about your TV, because the soap operas can wait, and wash your dishes by hand because the dishwasher's not getting plugged in either. I'm talking about power tools, maybe the car, ride your bike. But anyway, don't spend all the electricity on the electric car. Lights, that's what I'm talking about, you know, the little things. There are also a few solar power items like lanterns, stoves, even showers that can make all the difference in the right situations. These things come with their own collectors, so you don't need to hook them up to the main solar network, which is nice. So if you don't feel like installing a massive generator and a dozen solar panels in your backyard or on the roof, think about getting smaller portable generators like the Opus. I have the Opus and I absolutely love and adore this darn thing, okay? They are still powerful enough to power your tools, small appliances, a small mini fridge. You can even do the freezer with it, like the small freezer with it. You could do, I have one of those huge, you know, the, what the hell are they called? You know, the big fans that you see in like a mechanic's garage. Okay, I've hooked my, because I have one of those and I keep it out in the garage. I hooked that up to my Opus, and it's like a wind tunnel in there, okay? So it powers that thing up. Okay. So getting one of those is something that I highly suggest. All right. But anyway, all right, guys, that's all for this video. I hope this helps with the whole gas situation, because I know we were having that conversation. And I hope this helps you with answering any questions that you could have possibly had. All right. I will see you guys in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping, and as always, fearless. Ciao.